Hi, I'm Melody.
And I'm Candi.
And you're listening to
Quirks, Bumps,
and Bruises.
Baby's on the way.
I know. And so on this episode of Quirks, Bumps, and Bruises, it's kind of time for a baby update because you're about a month away.
Yeah.
A little less than a month away.
Yes.
But I wanted to ask you some fun questions.
Okay.
Just some questions that it'll be fun for you to answer. It'll be fun for those listening to hear. And it may even bring back some memories for those of us that have already gone through all this, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so let me ask you, start off by asking this question. What do you fear the most about having another child in the house?
Ooh.
Now, not necessarily about having the baby, but once the baby is here, because if y'all don't know Candi's mind can go about 100 miles down the road at times.
It does. And it's sad, but true. I remember when Hunter was born, I suffer with anxiety and OCD. And so I remember when he was born, that just sent me down a path of like, oh, I got to watch him 24/7. I can't rest. I'm scared something's going to happen to him. So a little piece of me is worried that could come back with this new birth. But honestly, on the funny side, I am terrified because I don't remember anything about having a baby. Like, I don't remember how long they can't have honey. They can't have... When do they eat? Yeah. All these things, like you're supposed to boil the bottles. I mean,
all the things that your generation does with babies, we did not do.
And they were just fine.
They all survived.
It's funny.
But it's funny because my daughter had told me you had a baby shower and there was something on your list, and I can't think of what that thing is called, where you put maybe a monitor on them.
It is an owlet, is what they call it, baby owlet, monitor. Yeah. And it is very technical. And great for people who have OCD like me.
Yes.
And I had that for my first child, sold it because it's a very high priced item, but it checks their pulse oximetry, like their blood oxygen.
Way too many things that you don't need to be knowing.
No. And I think that fed my OCD and made it worse.
And Lindsay said, my daughter follows someone on Instagram that is great at helping mothers know what they need.
Yeah.
And the things that they'll try to sell you and make it sound like it's so great that you don't need. And Lindsay goes, one of the big things on there is that owlet thing that you're talking about, that you really don't need it. And I told you that, and you were like, no, I got to have that.
You know.
Did you get it?
No, I didn't. It's still on my registry list.
Because they are so expensive.
They are very expensive. And it's not even about the cost, though it is a lot expensive. It's just because you can turn around and sell it and make a lot of your money back.
Yeah.
But it's just, I feel like that's maybe not putting a lot of trust in Jesus. And so
you think you may not do it?
I think I may not do it.
Wow. That's a big step for you.
It is a big step, but ask me when the baby's born. Amazon does have 2-day Prime.
We'll have to come back and do a second podcast on that topic, you know. Okay, so just that fear of kind of the unknown again. And I get that. Keeping my grandchildren, when it came time to do that, I was like, because it's been a long time, obviously, since I had babies in the house. And first of all, you want to try to do what my daughter wants it done so that we can be very consistent in that together. But yeah, just even changing a diaper, it's like I hadn't done this in a while.
I know.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And that I'm just fearful. And a lot of the people that I've told that to say, oh, it'll just come to you. It'll just come right back to you.
Kind of like riding a bike. You just, if you fall off the bike, you just get right back on.
I don't ride a lot of bikes. I'm not very good at it. So,
well, you're very nurturing, though. You will be fine.
Thank you.
All right. So let's move to a different question. What are you the most excited about?
I know it's very tiresome, and there's just a lot of lack of sleep, a lot of emotions, hormones, all kinds of things. But I miss the joy of having an infant, just a baby in the house, the joy that they bring you, like a new puppy.
Yeah, we'll give you about 2 days for that.
I know, right? I cannot wait. This is a girl.
I know.
And so I'm super excited about that, and just dressing her and
Okay, hold on. Y'all have no idea
She's like a baby
how
doll.
many bows this child already has, and she's not even been placed on this earth yet.
It's funny. I had an ultrasound last week, and I actually asked the technician, do you see hair? Like, can you see if she has any hair? Because she has so many bows. And they were able to like zoom in, and you could see just a little bitty piece of hair. It was really funny.
Well, now, did Hunter have a lot of hair?
No, he didn't have a whole lot when he was born either. So I'm like, Lord, I hope this baby has some hair so the bows will look good.
Well, one thing nice about baby bows are that they look cute even on little bald-headed babies.
They do, yeah. So, but just to see her face, like it's getting so close, and to know that like she'll be in our arms soon is I just am so excited.
I know. I cannot wait. I think I'm more excited than you. I cannot wait to hold this child. I feel like I'm getting ready to have another grandchild.
You are.
And I'm so excited. And I know she's going to be just so precious. We have a name.
Okay, so that's...
Oh, no. She's changed again.
Okay, and... Y'all, this is the story. I have prayed that God would give me a name. I've just one that would just stick with me, and I need Him to like hit me over the head with it. And I just Emma Grace is one that Jake and I have both held on to. I mean, the first 8 months were like, we have no idea. We don't know anything. We change our mind. But Emma Grace has stuck.
And you definitely wanted Grace for that middle name.
We want Grace in there because of just the goodness and the grace of God and giving us this child. And so, yes, something Grace. And Emma is beautiful, and I love it.
Beautiful name.
It is a very beautiful name. But there's just been a little hesitancy with me, just a little bit, and it's getting worse. And I love the name that I'm about to tell you. And... It's crazy.
Oh, no.
I know. Because it's an unusual
I'm going to have
name.
to be stoic when she tells me this.
You're going to have to tell me that you love it.
Okay.
I've not told Jake this yet because I'm not 100%.
Oh, my goodness.
So y'all are hearing this before my own husband. Daisy Grace. You don't like Daisy?
Oh, Candy.
I knew it. I used to have a dog named Daisy. I know.
Are you naming your baby after your dog that's gone to heaven?
I loved it. I just love that name. And I remember Tony Green, when he was alive, he used to call his wife, Taranda, Daisy. And I just thought that was the cutest, sweetest reference. Like, I just loved it. So I'm like, I kind of like Daisy Grace. But I'm telling you, it'll change.
Well, I can tell you right now that when you tell your husband that,
I know, right?
That one is axed. I know Jake, and I will be shocked if he goes along with that.
Yeah, I know.
And this is funny. We were in a staff meeting here at Joy FM.
Yeah.
And we were all in there together, and the staff was there, and someone on our staff asked Candy about the name. And Candy goes, I think we're going to go with Emma Grace.
Yep.
And she goes, well, that's my daughter's name.
Same first, middle name.
I could feel it. I could feel it. I thought that name is no longer going to happen just because of that. But those two have nothing to do with each other.
No, and it is a beautiful name, and I love it. You know, I'm not big on common names either.
Well, Daisy's not common.
That's true. That's true. But I want to see your face first. Yeah. So I think it's going to be Daisy or Emma. But I do want to see her little face first.
Okay.
And if God wants to provide a name 2 minutes before she's born, then I'm hoping he'll do that. But I'll just love it.
You'll know. I think I've told this story before on air. When I was born, my mother, the whole entire pregnancy, I was going to be Sandy.
Seriously?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was going to be Sandy. And she said, when you were born and I looked at your face, she said, I couldn't name you that. You did not look like a Sandy. And she named me Melody.
Oh, my word.
Which is interesting considering just about my whole life, everything I have been involved in has been music.
Oh, my soul.
Yeah. And that
yes, that is. Yeah. I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. I was going to be Sandy. Yeah. So.
Wow. Okay. There's hope.
Yeah. So I think you will know when you see the baby's face.
I sure hope so.
All right. Let me ask you this question. How do you feel like you've got two other boys, Hunter and Wyatt? Wyatt's a little older, 14, so I think he'll deal with it. He's at that age where he'll say, hey, baby, and walk out.
Right.
Hunter, on the other hand, has really been a mama's boy.
He has.
And when you have a new baby, your attention becomes in 2 different places, right?
It does.
Or 3 different places in your case. So how do you think, are you preparing Hunter, or do you think he'll just do well on his own with this?
He is super excited. He keeps saying, is it February yet? He is super excited and ready. I don't think he's quite understood that, it's going to be really, really hard at first and really, really different. I've tried to, but I still don't think he quite understands it. And I want to work hard to still keep like the same bedtime, like nighttime routines we do and special things and all that. But yeah, it's going to be different.
You're very hands-on with him.
Yes, and he is the baby.
And you
know
can
what I mean?
still be hands-on with him, but maybe not as much because now you have another child to take care of. I'm
trying to work it in the way that like you have to help me take care of your baby sister, and so we're trying to do that with him. Like, you're going to be part of it. You're going to have to help and be a good big brother. And so he, I think he'll be okay, but you really don't know, I think, until it gets here.
And it's a big age difference.
Hunter's 8.
Yeah, so it's an 8-year difference. When my daughter was born, then 2 years later, my son was born, we had purchased, before I ever went to the hospital, a little medical kit. Oh. So that my daughter, Lindsay, could help take care of the baby.
Oh, what a sweet idea.
But I think Hunter's probably a little bit too big for that.
But that is a good idea of something that may be, if y'all have any suggestions.
Yeah, if you can think of ways to make sure you include him.
Yeah, that's great.
Now, I will tell you this too, because you may have forgotten this, that husbands struggle also with new babies.
They do.
Because they get all their attention taken away as well. You know what I'm saying? It's like Jake will say, honey, come sit on the couch and watch a movie with me tonight. And you're like, I have been up all day with this baby.
Right.
She's been crying. She has not been settled. I'm going to bed.
Right.
So they struggle. I think husbands struggle as well.
I think so. I do. And I know he'll help and he'll, but it is just different. It's no matter how helpful your spouse is, I think it's just a whole level of new tiredness for the mom, just because you are so committed to every breath and every...
There is nothing like baby tired.
I know it.
There's tired
and
there's baby tired.
I'm so tired now.
Yeah.
Like, I'll sit down at night and I'll think this is probably the last time for several years before I be able to just kind of chill like that. We're at the age now with Hunter and Wyatt that they can kind of do a lot of things on their own.
Oh, yeah.
But we about to do this again. Over. I know it.
What were you thinking?
I don't know.
Obviously you were not.
Thanks for listening to the Quirks, Bumps, and Bruises podcast with Candi and Melody. If you enjoyed the show, please take a moment to subscribe, rate, and share the podcast. You can learn more at joyfm.org.
We're so glad you joined us today. Find more hope, joy, and peace, even when you're short on time. Download and subscribe now to Your Encouraging 5-Minute Podcast with Eric and Heather, wherever you get your favorite podcasts.